Hi. Uh, in my last video, I talked about how to quit drug in 1 minute, and it was a very long video. I didn't plan it to make it that long, but anyway, it was a very long video, and I did cover a lot of topic about drug and how to get rid of it in 1 minute. So if you are interested in that, look at the part one of this video. In this video, I'm talking about the stress and why a lot of people do drug when they're stressed out. um, there can be a lot of definition of stress. I'm not gonna go and give you a dictionary definition of stress. When I'm talking about stress, in this case, I'm talking about the huge panic stress that people get. Not the some kind of stress that you are in for a little while. I'm talking about the very huge amount of stress that can be uh, there for a week or a day or sometimes even month that you cannot process. So maybe I have seen those are the conditions to for a lot of people to misuse drugs, to get rid of that kind of stress, that kind of problem in their life, and later really drug giving it a chance to relax and keep everything down. But eventually what would happen is then you don't you get the habit of depending on the drug to keep everything calm down, to make you stress free. And that's what I was talking about. When I was talking about the stress, I was talking about the panic stress, the huge amount of stress that is you know pushing you down. um, Basically, according to my um, work, on the pill and people who I have talked about, and a lot of people who do drugs, I have found out that a lot of times what happens is when sometimes people try to solve everything in 1 minute, something like that. Like that would be a very stressful situation, and I think that might be the reason why it is good to understand where the stress is coming from. A lot of times what happens is people try to you know fix all the problem in 1 day, and that's not gonna work. Like if you wanted to have a lot of money, if you and good health, a lot of education, and do all of those things, you realize that you have to give up something. And then but you don't want to give up anything, right? So you want to have school, college, money, all of those things in the same time. And but don't really want to give up anything at the anything. You wanted to get all of them, and that would create a lot of stress. So just try to understand that, like, manage your thing. You cannot have five different things. I know people do a multitask, and I know people are in phone and driving and eating, and then texting and doing all those things, and then they think they are doing, like, they are multitasking. But that's not really good, because uh, in some ways you are divided. Your attention is divided in so many ways, so that's not healthy. That can cause a lot of damage. So when you're trying to solve like 5, 10 different problems at one point or one time, you cannot do it properly. And that's why if you are working with something, if your life is you're having a lot of stress in your life, you have to understand that you cannot solve so many problems at the same time. The best way to solve a problem is work on one point at a time, and leave the rest for a while and come back and work on them. And I think that's how I have been, that's how have been successful myself to reduce stress. And that's how I have taught the other people who was trying to give up the drugs. And they kind of understand that too. Sometimes we just want to do a lot of things in one moment. We just wanted to have it all. Like, a lot of times what happens is people tell me about how some other people have achieved a lot of achievement in their life, and how they wanted to do the same thing. But I always question their assumption is like, have you seen how much work they have put on that? Like, have you seen how they grew their wealth or health or education or anything? they had put a huge amount of time to do that. Like, you cannot see somebody else's success and then want that right away, you know. You just have to understand that it takes a lot of time to be in some kind of position. So yeah, of course you can see somebody who has a lot of wealth, but you just have to realize that they start from somewhere, and they had put so many time, so much effort, and so many things they had sacrificed for that. So, and then also, but you think they might be successful, for them they can be unsuccessful, right? Like, for example, you think somebody who has a lot of money is successful, for them they don't have, you know, somebody who has a good relationship, happy environment is successful. So you don't know, you might having a lot of assumption. And then, like I said, I'm talking about the panic stress that you might have. Like, you know, sometimes it goes for a week and month, and then, you know, that's how you start depending on drugs to solve it down. So the other way to solve it down is to break it, you know, to break, like, if you have 5 issues you are trying to solve, just say you're solving one issue and then going on others. Or just say, I would just work on one issue today, and then next issue tomorrow, and next issue, you know. So that's how you can, if you wanted to solve 5 issues at the same time, I think that's how, you know, the stress would build up a lot. And then eventually what you do is, like, you cannot work on any issues, and eventually you just, like, you know, you just freak out, you know, just don't know what to do. So this is the second part of the video that I make to how to give up drugs. And, you know, I'm trying my best to make videos very small, and, you know, try to focus on one topic more. That way my my teachings, like, you know, my sayings, that you can understand what I'm talking about. And I hope this video would help you guys to reduce your stress, and to you know, and you can really develop some kind of, you know, better habit, or you understand that you cannot solve all the problems at the same time. So that even just, you know, realizing that might, you know, let you calm down, so you just don't have to use the drugs to calm you down. So thank you again. And if you really haven't seen me on my first video, which is very good, I think, but it's kind of long, but it's kind of good if you just wanted to quit a drug in very fast. Like, you know, I have claimed that you can quit a drug in 1 minute, and, you know, I guess you can go and see it yourself, and, you know, comment if you like it or not. Thank you guys. Bye bye.